Hey, shalom, shalom again, Yasha Allah. It's your happy brother Parazai again. All right, what's up, y'all? I hope the Most High is showing you His favor, love, and blessings and grace. Um, I'm happy because the Most High let me see another day. I'm happy because I woke up to who I was as a son of Jacob, son of Israel, Yasha Allah. I'm happy because Yahweh shall die for my sins, and if I repent in His name and obey the commandments of Yah, that I won't be put into a lake of fire for breaking the commandments and laws of the Most High. All right, so right now I want to deal with some things inside the scriptures that we don't really go into um, anymore too much, brothers and sisters. I want to start real quick. I'll start exactly where I am right now, which is in the book of Psalms. Fans, remember that song out there? The brother said, moving up the line, me have no time to look for that. He say, moving up the line, me have no time to look behind me, just ahead to the top till victory is mine. Moving up the line, me have no time to look behind me, just ahead to the top till victory is mine. Open up, open up my Bible to Psalm 75, verse 7. Make me open up my eyes and realize that when I go down, yes, the next one arise. You see that? When I go down, yes, the next one arise. You know what the man say? The man say when I rise, moving up the line, man have no time to look behind. Me just head to the top till victory is mine. Now that's part of the prophecy of Benjamin with the beloved of the Lord dwelling between his shoulders. That's going into the beloved of the Lord is David. And Benjamin sings long songs them deal with. The whole of Benjamin, Belize, Jamaica, Trinidad, especially Jamaica. Most of them have enough songs about the Psalms them. So that verse in that song, moving up the line, may have no time to look behind, me just head to the top till victory is mine. That comes from the Bible. It comes from Psalms, and he quotes the Bible in the song. He says, open up my Bible to Psalm 75, verse 7, make me open up my eyes and realize that when I go down, yes, the next one arise. Meaning what? You're not going to stop this revolution, this Torah explosion, this Torah revolution is the next big thing that's going to happen in Yashala. We've had the history, you understand? We have the knowledge of who we are. We've had the fringes. We've had devil's fringes. We've had everything. Only thing left now is for us to go right back where we started from, which is in covenant with the Most High. So it's not about one man doing this. All of us together that believe in the Most High, that's who's going to make this happen. So Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1 through 3. Let me get right to it. Psalms chapter 75, verse 7. It says, but Elohim is the judge. Elohim, Elohim is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. So the Most High set up leadership. The Most High sets men up. And the Most High puts men. Dísimo, él se puso y ahora él se pone el liderazgo según lo que es en la Torah. Okay, so he is the judge. He put it down one and set it up another. But remember, everything he sets up is according to the Torah. Judges, officers, elders. So if you're not walking in and promoting Torah, then you're not set up in righteousness for the Most High. What I mean in righteousness? Well, see, the Most High gave Satan his job, but it wasn't to do righteousness, it was to do wicked. Promoting and pushing his law. That's the only way we can determine if we can trust any type of leadership in person. Now, you might say you can't trust me, you can't trust our walk and our talk consistent with obedience to the Torah of the Most High. You might say, well, no, it's not. Okay. But the Torah is very specific on what to do and what not to do. So let's go in there and let's judge a man's works according to the Torah, not according to your feelings, your emotions, what you think or feel. The Most High does not give a damn about how I feel, about what he says, about what I think about Moses, what I think about Malak Dawad, King David, what I think about a person that's coming teaching the Torah. You can come with clothes that look torn, with holes in them, shoes too big or too small. But if you come talking about righteousness and repentance and obedience to Yahweh in the name of Yahushua, then that's the beautiful spirit that the Most High wants us to look to. Okay, so the one, he put it down one and set it up another. So when he sets up, we have brothers that want to rebel against that leadership that the Most High has set up, the leadership that endorses Torah. We have a lot of leaders in Israel, but a lot of them let the life of Yahushua distract them from obedience to the Torah standards. And he said, he specifically said, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. So how can you say that he's coming destroying any particular law? You see? So Psalms chapter 75, verse 7, the Most High tells us that he's put it down one and sets up another. And when he sets us up in righteousness, it's men that push obedience to his Torah uncompromised. Okay, now what we're going to do, I want to go into the book of Titus, okay, chapter 1, verse 5, and then we'll get into our title text of Numbers chapter 16. But first, going to the book of Titus, okay, Titus chapter 1, verse 5. Now, it says, for this cause left I thee in Crete. So Paul left Titus in the city island of Crete, that thou shouldest set in order the things that are in wanting. So one man was set up not to be a dictator, but to set the zone in order. One man was appointed to set the zone in order. Now, in our particular case, when we were in the city of Dayton, the city of Xenia, the city of Columbus, our elder that came down from the original, not the splinter break off modern under Commander General Yohana, but the original ISUPK left New York when Tazadakia and them, or the ones that are following Tazadakia now, basically had like a little coup. Some of the leadership left from New York and came to Ohio. Okay, under General Nathaniel, who's been very quiet and very often to cut for the past 20-something almost years. Very often to cut, but has been conferencing and dictating to me what should be done in our zone in Ohio. When I talk, I am the voice of the elder that has given me instruction on what needs to be set in order. And there's a lot of brothers that may have a problem with that. And that's fine if they got a problem with that. But the Most High did not set you up in that zone. The elders did not set you up in that zone. Okay? I went to Central America under the orders of my elder. I went to Mexico under the orders of my elder about my father's business. I went to India under the orders of my elder about my father's business and gave them every documentation paperwork for Masharah, Yasha Allah, and established two older elders in India, and established a Shatar in India and a Nagayad in India. Okay? So this is what was done under the elder Nathaniel with his full knowledge, full endorsement, and full consent. The same thing we see Paul doing in Titus chapter 1. Okay? And then you have going out to Jamaica under their auspices of their Israelite body that they're dealing with to set things in order there. Hola Israel da Silva. You have brothers going out to all different. I'll give you another example since we got Reyes here. You had Ariala from Mount Zion, all right, that went out to several different states to set up, and the legacy he left behind can be seen in the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge down in Texas, in Houston, okay, and over in San Antonio. But these men were sent out. And when they set up these zones, they were establishing order and in structure. You see, a lot of brothers just coming around to the leadership structure and trying to work with bodies in Israel don't know how things are operated. Got a chaotic spirit of sedition. Anybody with any structured background in business, military, in gangs, all right, in sports, know that things have to be done in order according to the protocol and respect for your chain of command. All right. But we have brothers in different states that don't want to respect the chain of command that's been in place for 20 years, 20 plus years, for 30 years, over 30 years. And you got brothers still wet behind the ears want to come and try to offset the righteousness in the biblical examples of leadership that was set up by the elders in order in various cities. All right, in various cities. So Paul again tells Timothy in Titus chapter 1, verse 5, for this cause I left thee in Crete, that thou shouldest set in order the things that are wanting. Meaning what? The things that are undone, the things that were needing to be done. And this is exactly what my elder has been doing under the leadership that he was under beginning in 1986. And it's exactly what I've been doing under the leadership that was in place when I woke up to Yahweh into the covenant on January of 1994. I've been with the same elder since January 1994. Haven't rebelled against, haven't tried to usurp authority away from him. Okay? So anyone want to talk about my character or my personality, whatever difficulty anybody has with my personality, I humbled myself to my elder and I got over my feelings, my emotion, my personality issues. Okay? Now, have you done the same thing? That's the question. All right? So he says, thou shouldest set in order the things that are in wanting. And what did he tell him to do? And ordain elders in the city as I had appointed thee. So Titus had to set up leadership in the cities. And that was it. You had the elders set up. And in some of these cities, you might have had some sort of a civil structure that was established also for judges and for officers. Yeah, thanks, Reyes, for the scripture right there in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 12. I'm gonna come. Actually, let me go to that. You know, out of respect for you, I'm gonna go to that scripture right there. Then I'm gonna go to Numbers chapter 16, which is the title text. This is coming from the brother Reyes, which is also a seasoned veteran in the work. off in the cut. You brothers on don't even know who this brother is or what is the work that he's been putting in, or he put in also, and how long he's been following after Yahushua. You see, kind of incognito, if you will. All right, incognito. All right, so in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 12, it says, "And now we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you and are over you in Yahweh, and admonish you." You see that? But a lot of brothers, they don't want to be admonished. You see, we got brothers right now that's being admonished by elders. And brother told my elder, this is a brother that's been working with me and my elder for less than 10 years. Haven't even been consistent. Haven't come to Sabbath services for 3 months consistently every Sabbath in 3 years. And told my elder to shut down. Told my elder he was out of order. But didn't want to take instruction from my elder when my elder said how something was going to be done. Was insubordinate. And is now being seditious. Spirit of rebellion against established leadership. See, it's fine if you want to run your mouth and talk against me. But now you have my elder giving you an order against whom nobody has no fault. My elder giving a subordinate to me direct orders. And this subordinate to me directly and openly, publicly defying being insubordinate and being seditious against my elder. Well, now it's time to put around and things start to get done and let the purging begin. Because I have never even disrespected my elder or disobeyed his order or told him to shut down. Because I understand the biblical structure and the biblical orders that the Most High put in place. And a lot of you brothers are thirsty for attention, thirsty for power, and you hungry to control a zone. But you don't want to put in the work. In all the places you travel to, never once have you put in the work to establish a zone. You want to step on another man's shoulders, step on another man's zone, step on his face, usurp authority, and then try to dictate to that man what he can and can't do righteously in his zone, as if you are in charge of the zone. And that's wicked. That's the spirit of Korah. That's the spirit of Korah. Okay? The Most High is not with you. That's the spirit of rebellion. Now, and this is the thing, brothers that keep the Torah, brothers that keep the commandments, I never seen that spirit on a brother. Only on a brother that breaks the commandments and walks halfway with the Most High. Not even walking halfway with the Most High, just walking out of obedience to the commandments of the Most High. Okay? Okay, Reyes, man, I can't keep going to all the scriptures, man, that you're putting up here, man. Can I bring out some scriptures too, man? All right, we gonna oh man, that's a good one though. All right, we're gonna go to that Jude chapter 1 verse 18. Yeah, man, we gonna have to make you an advisor to the council, man. You know, Jude chapter, I'm serious about that. Jude chapter 1 verse 18. Likewise also these filthy dreamers defile all flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil of dignities. So you speaking evil of me and your own elder, two elders over you, you speaking evil of both of them that you have submitted to. You despise the dominion, the authority, the rulership that the Most High have shown us in his Torah. And that's all me and my elders talking about is the Torah. That's it. And you got a problem with that. And you want to try to take different sides in other arguments and other positions, other proceedings, other judicial events that have absolutely nothing to do with the order of structure and command that has been set up in the Bible. You see? And then in Jude chapter 1, verse 10, but these speak evil of things that they know not. Meaning you don't know the Bible. You don't know how to order a zone. That's why you've never set up a zone. And it's great that brothers haven't never set up zones, but every brother needs to know his position. You're not a leader if something is set up by another man and you try to assert leadership over that zone by being disrespectful and disobedient to the leadership that was set up. You're not a leader. You're a usurper. You're trying to take something by force. Okay? You're trying to take something by force. The Most High said that, from the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. Meaning you trying to the Romans, all right, took it by force. All right. But this revolution is about the Torah. It's about obedience to the structure. And a lot of you brothers better get that garbage out of your system. Because if you try that in the wilderness, you're going to be Korah part 2. All right. Jude chapter 1, verse 10. But these speak evil of those things they know not. But what they know naturally as brute beasts, in those things they corrupt themselves. Meaning what? You just know how to operate as a brute beast. You want to just take something, with aggression outside the Bible parameters. Right? The Most High have already told you, obey those that have the rule over you and submit yourself to them. And now you're going around like Korah, trying to get other men on your side in your sedition against the proper leadership of Yasha Allah within a particular zone. Once again, if you're not pushing and endorsing and walking in Torah, you have no business in any continued extended leadership in Yasha Allah that can directly influence the words, thoughts, and actions of the people, because you can corrupt them to fall into sin. Into sin. Give an example, okay? Give you an example. What happens if, there was a woman that I made a betrothal agreement with, and her mother is currently still a lesbian, and that mother had friends that was lesbians. Now, this lesbian woman used to come into this betrothed woman's grandparents' house where the little children of the lesbian lady were living. Another lesbian lady used to come, kiss the little girl in the mouth, and tell that little girl that she was going to grow up and be a good lesbian. You see? But that's what happens when you allow that corruption to come around you. Now, over the years, that little girl is going to be influenced and molded to be a good little evil carpet muncher, which is totally against the laws of the Most High and the righteousness of the kingdom of Yasha Allah and the nation of Yasha Allah. You see? So that's why we have to have things in place. For Naf over in DMV, big up to Kunaf in DMV over there in Southeast. All right. Southeast, big up. Kunaf over there, FOPE in DC, and his whole crew. All right. A lot of y'all DMV stand for DC, Maryland, and Virginia, coming off of like Woodrow Wilson over by Landover, all right, Southeast, coming off of Indian Head Highway over by Anacostia Parks, and what's that? Bowling's over there, I think. There's Bowling's over there, all right. Connecticut Avenue, 14th, Alabama, all right. Got the Mortons over there. Used to be on a corner down there. You know what I'm saying? So big up to the brothers over there in the DC area, man. FOPE had the first Hebrew Israelite summit in Washington, DC. And a lot of us that lived in the Washington, DC area, we don't say DC, but if I just say DC, y'all might think I'm talking about distribution center. So I'm talking about the capital of Babylon in America, the legislative capital at least. We know that New York City is the financial capital and the luministic capital. This is just the DC is like the mirror, the capital just in writing to pass laws to the people, of America. But anyway, you got to respect the leadership. But nobody wants to be, under proper righteous leadership right now. It's a spirit of rebellion. Now I'm going to go into the book of Numbers, the title text. I'm going to try to be quick about it. One more, please, with all due respect. Luke 14:8. When thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden of him. And he that bade thee and him come and say to thee, give this man place, and thou begin with shame to take the lowest room. Meaning that you try to exalt yourself, you're going to get put out of your pocket, put out of your position. When you try to exalt yourself over somebody else, or when you just, you just receive all the pomp and circumstance, the pageantry that somebody tried to give you, and then somebody that's greater than you comes in. You see? Somebody greater than you comes in. And now you got to give up your seat. That's what we do. Give me an example. If I'm up there teaching and the elder comes in and I know that the elder is about to be there for a minute, he's going to come up and sit either with me or I'm going to move over a spot. Right? When I come in out of town to different zones that I've set up over the years, the brothers that's there, they ask me, do I want them up and sit with it? And I say, no, go ahead and continue with the Sabbath service. And they know that that's my spirit. I'm not trying to guide and micromanage what you do and say I got to be directly in front of you. I just want to give you the basics of the Torah and Yahushua and make you see the commandments are important and let you base your foundation on that. And if you base your foundation on that, any discrepancy, misunderstanding that you have in life, you can adjust it based on Proverbs and Ecclesiasticus and Psalms and based on the wisdom of the Most High and based on the Torah. Now the Holy Spirit can come in and try to make you see things the way they're supposed to be done. You see? All right, so now, going to the book of Numbers. Chapter 16. Okay. Verse 1. This is coming from the authorized translation of the Bible. Numbers chapter 16, verse 1. It's Korah, the son of Ishar, the son of Kotham, the son of Levi. So we're talking about Kohan. We're talking about Korah. And Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Pelet, sons of Reuben men. So these three guys, okay, you got Dathan, Abiram, and then you have Korah. So you have these three men that took men. Now these are men that were in, positions where they had power and types of leadership and access to influence the people. So what they did, they took, okay, they took men. And now it says that he actually separated himself. Okay, and these three men. Okay, they separated themselves. Now, what does it say? And they rose up before Moses. So here they go trying to exalt themselves against the leadership that's coming to push the Torah and obedience to the commandments and following Yahushua decently and in order. And you have these men that's not doing that, trying to put down and approach somebody that is doing that, regardless of the faults that Moses had, regardless of the fault that King David had, regardless of the faults that Saul had. The Most High put them in place. Now, let me say this. When these men walked out of Torah, the situation got dealt with. But that didn't give nobody else no right to come and try to disrespect these men. David was mad when he found out how this guy tried to treat Saul. And nobody has that spirit now. All right. Even though you have you have the brother Ariah, which is responsible for a lot of information that we have now. That doesn't make him a god. It doesn't make him infallible. But he's responsible for a lot of the knowledge and information that's out here floating around in Yasha Allah. And people try to disregard and disrespect that because he fell off and started saying that Tazadakia is the Holy Spirit, is the comforter, which he is not. But at the same token, the man's record speaks, and you can't disrespect him. Now, if somebody want to come and disrespect him and talk against him for the works that he did, they would have to be corrected. Now, if you want to talk about what's going on now, that's the truth. All right. Now, if he was set up in a position of leadership and he started consistently going off against the structure and against the laws of the Most High, then he would have to be removed. And he would have to be removed for that purpose. But you have a lot of brothers that's following personal agendas and trying to remove brothers because they feel like they should be in that position. Not because of no sins or iniquities is being done. If it was so, they would bring it forth. But the way we live our lives is very tight. Anything we do, we can go into the Torah and say, this is why. So let me go back. Numbers chapter 16, verse 2. And they rose up before Moses, certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. So they went to 250 leaders. All right. So they went and rallied all of the men. And that's exactly what's happening now. Brothers are trying to rally other men against the leadership that has been set up and established. It's happened before. It's going to happen again. Numbers 16 and 3. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. And a lot of you brothers out there, you gathering yourselves against the leadership that you're under. And it ain't going to work. It ain't going to succeed. But what happened? But remember why Moses left Egypt. Remember why Moses left Egypt. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, ye take too much upon yourself, nation are holy. And that's what brothers are exactly saying right now. We're not going to let one or two men do it. We all going to do this thing together. That's exactly what, ain't that what's happening? That's exactly what's happening. And that's how you know it's the spirit of Satan, man. Same old tricks. I didn't do that. My elder didn't do that. All right? My elder didn't do that. My elders that taught me in this truth didn't do that. But now you trying to do it. Other brothers are trying to do it in their own household. You can't make all the decisions. I got a voice too. Well, what's her name? Michal, David's wife. She had a voice too. And she used that voice to speak against her husband disrespectfully. And because of that, David never had sex with her again. Okay. Miriam had a voice too. And she used her voice to talk against her brother Moses. And for doing that, the Most High turned her into a leper. Yahweh turned her into a leper. So no, your voice as a woman is not important if your voice as a woman is being seditious and rebellious against your head. You see that? So now the Most High said, men came up to Moses and they said, you take on too much. You take too much upon yourself. Seeing all the congregation are holy, and that's what these brothers are trying to do. Y'all doing too much. We all should be a part of a council. We all should be a part of the council. We all should be a part of making a decision. On a goddamn flyer? On a flyer? And the pretext you come in under, acting like this is acting like this whole thing is about a flyer. No, this is about the spirit of rebellion to lead men further away from obedience to the Torah. All right, brothers teaching all kinds of damnable heresies that we're not even going to go into. We're going to address those specifically and individually in the very near future. And once again, when I speak after counseling with my elder. I'm not speaking of my own words. I speak after counseling and consulting with the scriptures. And no brothers that's under myself, or now when people say under, people got a problem with under. When the Bible tells you to submit to the elder, that means that the elder is over you and the elder is, the leader, the head. And I'm under my elder. I don't have a problem with saying that. But because a lot of brothers have pride, and a lot of these brothers that got pride like that, that don't want to be under an elder, 9 times out of 10, their wife is out of order. Their wife and is rebelling against them. Okay? Wife still walking around doing things and saying stuff and looking in ways that's not reflective of a holy daughter of Zion. You want to talk about daughters of Zion, but do your wife reflect the daughters of Zion? All right? A woman should not be wearing stuff that's tight, revealing, all kind of cleavage and curves are showing in her body. A woman supposed to dress even more modestly than a man. A woman is not supposed to be having all kind of tight clothes on her breasts. You're already top heavy, or you already got bumps coming off your chest, no matter if you're an A cup or a H cup. You're not supposed to be wearing stuff that just fitted on your chest. That's lascivious, a work of the flesh, which will keep you out of the kingdom and into the lake of fire. So once again, Numbers chapter 16, verse 3. What's going on, Lakam Bangabar? Numbers 16 and 3. And they gathered together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, ye take too much upon yourself, seeing all the congregation are holy. And this is exactly what brothers are doing now. They trying to rally other brothers with them to come against the leadership like they came against Moses and Aaron. Ain't nothing new. Any righteous, proper leadership based on the Torah is always going to be challenged. And they saying they doing exactly what the scripture said happened. They saying you take too much on yourself, seeing all the congregation holy. They saying, well, y'all doing too much. No 1 or 2 men are going to make this decision. We all going to make this decision. Forget what Moses and Aaron said. So these three men made a decision on their own and got 250 men to follow behind their foolishness. So I'm warning you, brothers, beware of the spirit of Kothah, Kothah's son, all right, which is Korah ban Kothah. Beware of the spirit of Korah that would try to have a small number of men influence a greater body of men. Why? Because they don't have the power to do what they're trying to do on their own unless they try to talk against the leadership that's already in place. They can't do it from their own merit, from their own works, because they're not dedicated to this thing like Moses and Aaron was. You see, Moses and Aaron, they were dedicated to this thing. They walked away from their life, man. Me and my Zaquan both walked away from good paying jobs. And we make money how we can now, selling fringes, border of blue, garments, all right, patches, you know, garments like this. And some of the money garments that we sold right now, we haven't even gotten the money back from the stuff that we sold because we ain't tripping. It's all in the time of the Most High. We brothers we trust have sold garments for us, and those brothers we trust might have needed the money. They might have used the money for something else. I don't know. I don't make no inquiry, but we're not tripping on it because these are brothers that we know, love, and trust. And the Most High, all right, is going to provide the needs. And we wouldn't, if we didn't love and trust these brothers that we've given these garments to, they wouldn't have them. You see? So brothers don't want to put in the work. Me and my elder have been consistently every Sabbath that we've been together for the past 20-something years, making sure that the doors was open for any brother in our cities where we were that wanted to come and observe and keep the 7-day holy biblical Shabbat, consistently providing Torah instruction, consistently opening the doors of our home to any brother that needed a place to stay or that needed some spiritual or physical food. And obedience, that's what our conversation is about, obedience to the commandments. We're not talking about it, we're actually doing it and talking about it. So let's go to Numbers chapter 16, verse 3. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. So they came against the leadership of Yasha'Allah that was in place and said unto them, ye take too much upon yourselves, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and Yahweh is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord. You see? So they asked Moses, if all of us are holy, how y'all gonna be the only ones that's in charge now? That's the same thing that's exact same thing that a brother asked and said toward me and my elder. Y'all not running nothing. The council is running stuff, which is cool, but that don't take away the power from the elders, brothers. That don't take no power from the elders. Moses set up a council of men that was keeping the commandments. And those men respected the leadership of Moses. But what's happened is that men have been set up on councils, and these brothers ain't keeping the commandments. And they're in positions of leadership and influence over people. And the position of leadership and authority they've been given over brothers was done out of season, was done prematurely. And I take full responsibility and fault for that. Because my elder went against his better judgment and went with my opinion and my endorsement to set men up in these different offices when I vouched for these brothers that they could do this job. To try to do what? Bring unity. Because we traveling all around the world now. I've been to about 4 different countries in about the past year and some change. Been to Mexico, Belize, India, Sri Lanka, and Dubai. Any other countries? And the United States. And the reason I got to say the United States is because I don't live full time. I spend most of my time outside the country. I've been coming to America like I got a visa or something. The past 2 years, I've stayed in America less than 6 weeks. Right? Less than 6 weeks. All right. So now that the point that we're making is that these brothers that we see in the book of Numbers, chapter 16, verse 3, they tried to come against Moses by saying, if the whole congregation is holy, how are you two the ones that are lifted up? Okay, but where was these brothers when Aaron almost lost his baby brother and Miriam had to put him inside a basket made out of weeds for his brother to survive? What were these brothers? Okay, when Moses had to go stand before Pharaoh, what were these brothers? When Moses had to take another man's life to protect his brothers. Okay, where were these brothers when Moses had to go and stand before them at that time? Where were these brothers when Moses was walking through that desert, struggling to survive? Okay, where was Korah at then? In Numbers chapter 16, you ever wondered children life in jeopardy? All right, his mother life in jeopardy. He gave up his whole life, left out of captivity to do the work of the Most High. Me and my elder left out of America to go and do the work of the Most High other places. When we were in this zone, setting things up, putting up our money to travel back and forth to Cleveland, to travel back and forth to Cincinnati, to travel around the world. All right. The brothers just trying to usurp some type of authority now wasn't there. Nor have they put in works for the Most High on any level of magnitude. They just did exactly what Korah did, running their mouth, trying to get other people to be part of their rebellion against the leadership. Now, what did Moses say in Numbers chapter 16, verse 4? Moses said, and when Moses heard it, he fell on his face. Meaning Moses was just fed up and tired. And he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, now listen, so Korah was able to convince other people that Moses was the problem and that Aaron was the problem. But how is Moses and Aaron a problem if they doing exactly what the Most High set them up to do? You see, Moses didn't have to go in and try to wrestle power or leadership or influence out of nobody's hands, but Korah did. Korah had to go and try to influence men to come against Moses. And Korah didn't come with no Bible verses either. Because Moses murdered a man. Let's say killed. Moses killed a man. Moses grew up in a house of idolatry, exposed to all types of wickedness and all types of sins. Moses did so when the Most High was about to kill him. And his wife had to step in so Moses didn't get killed. But you can't hold that against Moses. The Most High said, okay, you got that right, man. Let's move on. All right. The elders are set up in place to protect a zone. As we saw in the book of Titus, chapter 1, verse 5. Okay. Titus chapter 1, verse 5. For this cause left I thee in Crete, that thou shouldest set in order the things that are wanting. You see? So it's me and my elder that have been trying to set in order the things that need to be set in order. Documentation, paperwork, structure, prayers, Sabbath services, new moons, convocations. We've been doing everything in order. And we even had a book of order called Sapar Iraq to set in order. No Nagayat set that book up, went into the scriptures and did the research to figure out how we're supposed to be doing things as a body and as a nation. No, the Zequanium did that. Okay, with myself and lawyer in Columbus, Ohio, being catalyst to put that paper together and set it in order. Then it says, and ordain elders in every city. So my elder, Zaquan Shapat Nathaniel, he set up elders in Columbus, and some of those elders was authorized by him to go into other cities and in other countries to set up different zones. See, a lot of brothers trying to do a job, but nigga, who sent you? Who put you on that mission? I didn't just sit back in my own mind and say, this is what I want to do, this is how I'm going to do it. My elder set me on these missions in order through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And a lot of you brothers haven't been sent by nobody. You're self-appointed leaders. You're self-appointed elders. You're self-appointed bishop. But in the Bible, everything was done decently and in order. Yahweh Shai came personally to one man, and that was Paul. Everything else was done in order. You see? Let me break it down for you. Arnold Josiah Ford taught Wentworth A. Matthew. Wentworth A. Matthew taught Eber Ben Yeoman, known as Abba Bivens. Abba Bivens took on students, and Moshe Kareem or Masha was with Abba Bivens for a minute at Commandment Keepers, if I'm not mistaken. Yaquab and Ariyah, who were the three of the original seven, were really there was a group before the seven, which was Bivens, Masha, and Yaquab. There was three at first, and then when Bivens died for whatever reason, then they slowly men started to come in, and then they set up a council of seven. That council of seven, you had a brother named Ariyah Allah that was under that council of seven that went out to different places teaching and everything. And then you had him and Tahar kind of being peers together. Now you had the different camps and stuff. You had Mount Zion. My elder was one of the elders that was like generals that was over Mount Zion under a chain of command, under Aharon at Mount Zion at 126th Street. Now, since the time that my elder came into the truth in 1986, he have not stopped doing the work. He have not stopped working as part of a body. And the same thing with me since January 1994. I have not stopped doing the work. I have not stopped working as part of a body of Israelite men under my elder, Zaquan Nathaniel. It haven't stopped. You see? So now, me and my Zaquan moved in together in the same house, set up a headquarters to do the work of the Most High. Even got a job together, working at the post office as casuals, okay, to do the work of the Most High, together. See, I'm going back to 1996 now, consistently, broad and high. Since from 1996, I'm talking about. Broad and high, teaching in the rain, in the snow, with a microphone, without a microphone. Police saying, stop, we're going to put you in jail. And we saying, to hell with y'all police. We ain't scared of you. We the servants and the teachers that the Most High have authorized to come out here and wake up the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel. And been consistent in doing that. My elder since 1986. And under my elder, I've been doing it since 1994, January. You see? But now a lot of brothers come in not understanding the structure or the history that we have, and want to try to usurp authority without putting in no work in the zone. Showing up every Sabbath, sitting in a chair to teach somebody every other Sabbath or a couple of Sabbaths out of the month is not what authorizes proper leadership. My elder set up leaders in the city that he was an elder established in, that he authorized me to work with him in. We set up Nagaya, which is a ruler or a leader. We set up judges and officers according as the laws of the Most High tell us to do. And these men that have been set up, for the most part, have been loyal to the statutes and to the articles of belief and to the structure of the government that we're supposed to be ruled by, for the most part. There's only a few spoiled apples that want to act in the spirit of Korah. And it's coming, and the thing is that you see the exact same thing happening in the Bible. In Numbers chapter 16, the exact same thing happened. Moses and Aaron and Miriam, they tried to step to Moses and say, you ain't supposed to be the one. You ain't supposed to be leading nobody. And here you see Korah, Abiram, and Dathan stepping to Moses again. You ain't supposed to be the one leading. But they didn't do it themselves. They had to go and get 250 other men and leaders. And then they stepped to Moses and them. Moses and Aaron. But the paperwork was already in place. The laws of the Most High was already in place. All right. So now we see the Most High, they said to Aaron and Moses in verse 3, all the congregation are holy. All right. And Yahweh is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of Yahweh. You see? But Moses and Aaron didn't lift themselves up above the congregation of Yahweh. Moses and Aaron was doing a job out of love and out of humility to keep the people together, making sure the people had a place to come and worship the Most High, making sure the people was ruled according to the laws and the commandments of the Most High. Moses received counsel from his father-in-law, a Gentile, to set up the council of men. Then Moses set up 70 elders. Let's go into the book of Numbers, chapter 11, let's go into Exodus. Before the elders were set up, okay, under that council, okay, Moses had already taken the advice of his father-in-law. Now check this out. And this was part of the problem that we had in Ohio. The pool of men that was willing to obey their elders, like my elder obeyed his elder, like I obeyed my elder, was very thin. It was a very thin pool of men that were willing to submit to another man. But that is exactly what it takes for a nation to operate. You can have a nation operating with every man doing his own thing and not submitting himself to a man. And I said it before and I say it again. I submit wholeheartedly, beyond a shadow of a doubt, fully to my elder, Zaquan Nathaniah Allah. And I say that with joy and happiness. And you should be able to say the same thing about your elder, because that's exactly what we see happening in the Bible. Because my elder is teaching and walking in the laws and commandments of Yahweh. And if he make a mistake, which he have sinned, and I have sinned, I don't use that as an opportunity to usurp authority over him. I do exactly what the Bible says to do, You understand? Let's see what the Bible says to do. In Galatians chapter 6, verse 1. Brethren, if any brother be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness. If I mess up, my elder restore me in the spirit of meekness. If he messed up, I restore him in the spirit of meekness. But a lot of brothers take that, if brother have a fault, you take that as a weakness and try to eliminate the chain of command leadership that's established over you when you're not qualified to lead anybody. You have never led anybody. Okay, you have never put in no work consistently in your city over any extended years of time. You come and go like popcorn, and that's fine. I'm not knocking no brother for that. But what I am knocking is now you trying to think that because you've been reading the Bible that qualifies you for leadership when you've never been in the trenches with your elder. I've been in the trenches with my elder. I've had the Cleveland Police Department elder out of his position and say, you're going to be over him now. In no organization or country or body or household is that bullshit going to be tolerated. And we sure as hell is not going to tolerate it in our zone that the Most High set us up in. And if you have a problem with that, you go in the Bible and you show that your method and your course of action is authorized by Yahweh, that it have been used or that it have been used by our righteous ancestors in the Bible. You see, because we've been consistent and diligent in this thing. And that's the whole thing. My elder have been consistent and diligent in this walk for more than 30 years. All right. More than 30 years. I've been consistent and diligent in this walk for 25 Passovers. 25 Passovers. Okay. So for 25 Hebrew years and about 24 Gentile years, teaching, traveling consistently. So it is my elder and me under his leadership that made sure that you brothers, especially you brothers in Columbus, had a place to go to every Sabbath. Not these brothers that's trying to challenge our leadership. Not these brothers that's trying to rally people around them to try to set up some illegal, unauthorized, rebellious council. You brothers ain't going to succeed in this thing, man, because the Most High is on our side. All right? The Most High is on our side, man. So only way you can challenge a man in his position of leadership over any nation or any part of the nation of Israel is based on the Torah. Which, first of all, let's go into the book of Exodus. First of all, you yourself, you understand? You yourself have to be keeping the Torah. Keeping the Torah. Let's go into the book of Exodus, chapter 18. I'm going to read verse 21. Let's start with verse 20. It says, and thou shalt teach them ordinances, and they must walk and work, and the work that they must do. You see that? You know what that means, man? That means you're supposed to get up under a person that's keeping the commandments and the laws of the Most High. Learn the work you got to do. A lot of you brothers never did that. This is Moses talking, and the Most High talking in the book of Exodus chapter 18, man. Showing you exactly what is the procedure and the process for leadership of Yasha'Allah. Show them the way that they must walk in and show them the work that they must do. So you're supposed to show them and walk with them and teach them. Okay, so what do you call somebody that's teaching? Call him a teacher. Hey, shalom, Isaiah. Good to see you, man. What do you call a brother that's teaching? You call him a teacher. What do you call a brother that's studying under the teacher? You call him a student. You see that? Teacher, student. But a lot of brothers, you don't want to be students. See, the students of Yahushua, they put their life aside for this work. My elder put his life to the side to move into where his teachers were living at, so he could learn and study and go teach with them. I put my life aside to be under the same roof with my elder until he said, hey, I'm going to get my own spot over here. And he got his own spot. Okay. And then we moved back under the same roof because I want to be under and close to my elder. Sure, for leadership, for guidance, okay, for justification that I'm walking and doing the right thing in order with the man that's been teaching me since January 1994, brothers and sisters. I can't understand what you're saying. Okay. Okay, which is what we see in the book of Acts. Was that chapter 2? Which says that they all came together and had all things in common. And we lived that. As a matter of fact, me and my elder, Nathaniel, and another elder at the time, lawyer, we all made a covenant with each other that we was going to all stay living together and do the work of the Most High. Me and one elder, we kept that covenant. Another elder didn't keep the covenant. We kept the covenant. You see? So in Exodus chapter 18, verse 20, they talk about the ordinance and the laws that Moses was supposed to show the people. And that's what he did. Show the leadership. Now, in verse 21, moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men. So Moses was given the job to provide able men. So Moses went and said, okay, are you able? Are you able? You able? And that's what me and the elder did. Such as fear Elohim. Now, these was brothers that were obedient to the Most High. And part of our problem is that we didn't set up men that were obedient to the commandments like they were supposed to. We took the counsel of another man that told us to set this man up because he wanted to teach. He wanted to be a leader. So, hey, make him a leader, make him teach. But we set up a novice. And the Most High in the scripture showed us not to do that. We set up a man that had been walking with us for less than 1 year, less than a year and a half, and set him up as a leader over a congregation. And we shouldn't have done that. And even after this man walked away from the body to do his own thing and stopped coming to convocations, stopped coming to Sabbath services, stopped coming to the new moon, we still had a spirit of love and humility to say, you know what, that's the past. We still going to set you up as a leader. Now, after the brother set up as a leader, now the brother come and try to say that the paperwork that set him up as a leader is not valid, and that me and the elder that set him up as a leader don't have no authority to tell him who's going to make a goddamn flyer. And excuse my language, but I'm thinking to myself, excuse my language once again, I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck kind of bullshit is this? Excuse my language, if that offends you, I'm sorry. Every flyer I made under my elder, I showed him and he approved it. But now a man that we set up think that he gonna go and do his own thing and ain't gotta come to us. He gonna go through a council now and not go through the men that set him in righteousness to rule over the people, using the authority that he's been given to usurp authority from his elders. And that is in any organization, any body, any church. I don't care if you're a drug dealer. How the hell a nigga gonna come and try to, you put a nigga on your spot, he gonna tell you it's his spot now, and him and the other dudes that's running the spot is gonna tell you how much dope and how much money you supposed to give them. Or you got a basketball team and you the captain of that team and you put that team together and the brother gonna come and tell you, well, this is how we're gonna run a team now. Or you a teacher of the Bible in a city and the brother that you've been teaching the Bible to in the city is gonna come and tell you, this is what we're gonna do to spread this word now. You don't got no voice no more. In what city, organization, country is that acceptable or tolerated? None. You won't accept it in your household. So how are we gonna accept it in the house that we supposed to be teaching the commandments of the Most High? You ain't gonna accept that in your household. All right, the stuff the brothers are trying to do against their rebellious, expressing their rebellious nature against the established leadership, I guarantee they ain't gonna go try that at the house of David. They won't go try it at AOC, and they sure as hell ain't gonna go try it under ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. I guarantee you. So what the hell make them think they're gonna come and try this bullshit and disrespect my elder that I've been under since I came into the truth in January 1994? Excuse my language once again, like we just some bitches. Like we some bitches. Excuse my language again. If it offends you, I apologize, but this is real talk. Like we some bitches. Excuse my language again. But that's what it boiled down to. You hiding behind the Bible, but the Bible don't tell you to do what you're doing. The Bible tells you to submit to your elders and to obey them. You can't find one Bible verse to say you can disrespect or disregard what your elders do saying to do over a goddamn flyer. Excuse my language again. If it offends you, I sincerely apologize. So that's letting you know that the spirit of Satan is deep amongst our people within our own house. This ain't about no flyer. This is about how Satan is going to try to govern and rule the people to pull them away from the commandment. Because if anybody know one thing me and my elder been teaching is the commandments and laws of the Most High without no slack. No working on the Sabbath. You got to wear your border blue and fringes. No working on the new moon. You can't keep the Passover if you know you're breaking the commandments. Okay? You can't eat at restaurants that serve unclean foods. You can't hate your brother. You got to release and let go of any grudges you have against your brothers. I'm going to say this to you, though. If we walking and teaching the commandments, Shalom, Demetrius, if we walking in and teaching the commandments, guess what? Yahushua said we great in the kingdom. If you break the commandments and teach men to break the commandments, Yahweh said that you least in the kingdom. So how are we going to follow somebody? Anybody that knows me, no matter what fault you say I got, you know that my action that I do is based on my understanding of the Torah. You might not like my personality. You might think I talk reckless at times, but you can't lay charges against me where I went against the commandments of the Most High. Deliberately, nor consistently. Like it's just a part of my nature. You know me, man. You know, one-on-one, me talking with you, I'm a good brother, man. I'm a nice brother. I'm humble. I don't exalt myself above my own brothers, man. I put myself when I sit down and talk with you as an equal. I respect all men as my equal. But when it comes to laws of the Most High, you got to submit to whoever's right. Now, the book of Exodus chapter 18, it says, provide able men such as fear Yahweh, men of truth, hating covetousness. And a lot of you brothers don't hate covetousness. Some of you brothers would go behind a brother's back that made a contract with a woman for a betrothal that's not a virgin, not living in her father's house, and try to have the father undo a betrothal so you yourself can have the woman. Now, if that ain't covetousness, I don't know what the hell is. A lot of brothers, when me and my elder was in the city, y'all wasn't coming around. Okay? Y'all wasn't coming around. Y'all wasn't listening to the Sabbath classes. Y'all wasn't participating in the Sabbath services. Now, when hey, Shalom, Mati Yahoo. All right. Now, this one of the incognito elders, okay, with Banya Yasha'Allah, Mati Yahoo. He's on the paperwork, but a lot of y'all brothers been trying to do stuff. You haven't even consulted the elders. We told everybody on the phone call that Mati Yahoo was an elder. And a lot of y'all haven't even consulted and talked with the brother about problems that you got. You claim to have with other brothers that's in the hierarchical leadership. All right, Shalom Lakab, Mati Yahoo. Good to see you on here. Okay. Now, where was I? You want to refresh me? Okay, a lot of brothers weren't coming to the convocations in Columbus when I was there and my elder was there. Okay, that's fine. Now, I left the city. And now my elder was there. A lot of brothers said, okay, we got a problem with Parazah. Okay, that's fine. How come you wasn't coming around when I left the city? And my elder was the one controlling the zone now, running the zone by himself, without no assistance or help from me. Now my elder's running the zone now, and a lot of you brothers still didn't come around. So it ain't me you got a problem with. It's the structure and the order, and that me and my elder represent. It ain't me or my elder, because you can say you got a problem with me, but when my elder was the one that was in the city running the zone by himself, and I was nowhere to be found, why you brothers didn't come around then? Now, come what's that month we came down? You mean October? October in 2016, September 2016, when me and my elder came down to Mexico together. Now he relocated also to Mexico. Now a lot of you brothers want to come out the woodworks. Now a lot of you brothers want to come back around. Now I was gone for almost a year, not interfering in nothing. All right. So now the Bible said hating covetousness, and these brothers was coveting the position of the Zaquan Nathaniel Hazaquan. It wasn't about me. Satan make you think it's about me by throwing out personal problems brothers have with me, but it was never about me. Because even when I left the city, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, I was out the city for 6 months, and only my elder, Hazaquan Nathaniel, was the one that was running the whole zone without me being present. These brothers are trying to usurp authority. They still wasn't coming around. They wasn't coming around. They wasn't coming to the convocations. All right? They wasn't doing none of that. Why? Because they were coveting the position of leadership that Hazaquan has. Not me. Because I'm under a Zaquan. Anybody know me? No, I'm under a Zaquan. They wasn't coveting or had no problem with me. They was coveting and wanting a position. Satanically coveting. And now what they doing? What are they doing to control the zone and run the zone now? So the Bible said that they're hating covetousness and place them to be rulers of thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens, and let them judge the people at all seasons. Now, Shalom Lakah, hallelujah, shalom, shalom. Now, me and the Zaquan, we established a judge and an officer. We ourselves, and this is funny about it, me myself submit my cases to the officer and the judge of a problem that I have, problems that I have. But the very same men that's talking against the leadership try to go around that judge and those officers. Why? Because they're covetous of the power. They don't think they got to submit to no man. You see? They don't think they got to be under no man, even though I place myself under a judge, under an officer. But these men think that they can just do their own thing and then disrespect Hazaquan in groups where Hazaquan is talking. And think that they're going to get, like I said, man, I'm going to say something very clear. When it comes to the work of the Most High and it comes to teaching his people, man, ain't no Kool-Aid over here. Ain't no spiritual Kool-Aid over here. Ain't no spiritual bitches this way, man. We've been doing this thing in the face of Esau and his police under threats with guns to us, with handcuffs literally on our wrists, and still continue teaching. And the Most High delivered us out of the lion's den. And you think that you are going to come and destroy something that the Most High used us to build when you ain't even walking in the commandments? Listen, brothers and sisters, a lot of you young men out there that have these positions that you have now, because you showed consistency. You showed dedication. You came to the Sabbath services. You didn't want these positions. You didn't want to be in these offices, and that's why you in those offices. That's why you got them, because you was consistent coming to the Sabbath, coming to the convocations. You came and learned the law. You learned the law. You sat there and you came on the Sabbath and you learned the law, which is what we teach on the Sabbath. But a lot of these niggas haven't even sat still to learn the law from me as their elder or from my elder as their elder. And that's why they going off. That's why they don't fear the Most High. That's why they disrespect the structure and the order. All right? And I'm going to say this too, man. And this ain't to any specific brother. Don't think I'm talking about any specific brother. 9 times out of 10, excuse my language, 9 times out of 10, when a nigga was on some big stuff in the world, if you ain't got Christ in your heart, man, you're gonna be on that same big stuff in his truth, man. If you haven't fully repented and come back to Christ and given your life to Christ, you're gonna be the same person you was in the world. You're gonna be reacting the same way. You think that your voice, your influence, your money, your loudness is gonna get things done that need to get done. But that's not the way it goes. You got to be humble. You got to submit yourself. You got to submit yourself, man. And a lot of you niggas out there don't want to submit to the elders. And if you don't want to submit to the elders, go be with Satan. Any Israelite group that's out there has respect for their leadership, or, excuse my language, they get the fuck out. Period. Because you ain't taking shit, nigga. If you don't like the leadership that's in place, you got two choices. You submit to the paperwork that's in place. Paperwork that's in place decently or in order. Or number two, you can get the hell out. But you got a righteous option. You feel me? You have a conflict resolution and grievance protocol to express your problem with the leadership and submit that to the officer, and then the officer will review it and the judge will review it. And then after that, you got the council of, you got officers, you got elders, and you have brothers that were supposed to be on the council. The council consisted of 7 men. Okay? Matityahu, Karatazaya, Reuben down in Florida. Okay, Yaquam, consistent of Karash, consistent of Aina. Okay, and consistent of Bamawana. These are the 7 men that's supposed to be on the council of Banya Yasha'Allah. We had a phone conversation about it. And we had and everybody agreed to what was going on, but everybody haven't gotten the paperwork. But everybody is going to get the paperwork hopefully this week, so we can end a lot of confusion. And we can do things a lot more in order. Once you respect the law of the Most High, then you respect order. If you don't respect the laws of the Most High, you ain't going to respect the order. Okay? let's go into, once again, these are like elementary scriptures, man, that leaders are supposed to know. But a lot of brothers think that they're leaders, but they don't do these scriptures. And like I said, you know, I thank the Most High. I thank the Most High that he gave me a spirit to submit to my elder for over 20 years. Otherwise, I'll be sitting here as a hypocrite. And I thank the Most High for giving me an elder that ultimately respect the laws and the commandments of the Most High above any argument, conversation, or situation. I thank the Most High, my Kwan Nathaniah Yasha'Allah, that's been guiding me into how to be a leader over Yasha'Allah righteously. And a lot of people say, well, how are you going to be over a man? But I thank the Most High for giving me a leader that showed me how to be a righteous leader over men. Well, how are you going to be over somebody? Well, let's go into the scripture. Okay. This is 1 Peter chapter 5. The elders which are among you, I exhort, who also am an elder. Okay. Now let's go into verse 2. Feed. Look what it say after that. Taking the oversight thereof. How are you going to take the oversight of a flock if you're not over that flock? So you brothers that, once again, have a spirit of can't nobody be over you in this truth, that's a spirit of rebellion against the established leadership that Korah had against Moses. It's the exact same demon. And he's been manifesting himself more and more. Okay, Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. That's that same demon from Numbers chapter 16. So the Bible says, taking the oversight thereof. All right. Now let's go into verse. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Submit. That means to put yourself under. That means somebody going to be over you. So when you call a man your elder, you're saying that you're over me. I submit myself to you. I give you the oversight of me. A lot of brothers have a problem with that. And that's why they can't understand these concepts of proper leadership and guidance. But me personally, as an elder in Banya Yasha'Allah, as an elder that's a part of Mashara Yasha'Allah, the government of Israel, I have gone through different countries and different cities trying to establish the tenets of Mashara Yasha'Allah. Not trying to take a man's leadership away from him and be the head of a school. I've not done that. What I got was given to me by my elder, righteously according to the rules that we see inside the Bible. Okay. Now in 1 Peter, once again, chapter 5, verse 5, it says, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. But because a lot of you never submitted to an elder, a lot of you don't even want to submit to an elder, you think somebody is asking you to put 666 on your forehead when they tell you that you got to submit to an elder. Because you got that spirit of rebellion, that spirit of sedition that's against structure. And that's part of the works of the flesh. All right. So it says once again, yea, all of you be subject one to another. That means that when the elder can be shown in the scripture that he's wrong in what he's trying to do, he got to submit. He got to submit to it. I'm going to give you an example how this actually happened in the Bible. Now we know that Peter was set up over Paul. Okay. So with Peter set up to be over Paul, when Peter went off, Paul checked him. That's what this is talking about. Let's go into the book of Galatians, chapter 2. All right. The Bible says, but when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face because he was to be blamed. See that? Peter was to be blamed. So Paul withstood him to his face, meaning Paul came against what Peter was trying to do to his face. What happened? For before that, certain came from James. For before that, certain came from James. Now he's going back into Acts chapter 14 and 15, Acts chapter 15. 15 and 1. And certain men which came down from Judea taught the brethren and said, except ye be circumcised after the manner of Moses, ye cannot be saved. So this was a dispute that they were having. Okay. But now when we go into that same chapter and we read in verse 13, it says, and after they had held their peace, James answered, saying, men and brethren, hearken unto me. Okay. So now James says, everybody, listen to what I'm saying. In verse 22, it says, then pleased it the apostles and elders with the whole church to send chosen men of their own company to Antioch. See, James sent men down from Jerusalem to Antioch. So that's what Paul's referring to back in Galatians chapter 2, when he said that, but when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face because he was to be blamed. For before that certain came from James, he did eat with the Gentiles. But when they were come, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing them which were of the circumcision. So the Gentiles which were not of the circumcision, Peter was eating with them. And then the Israelites came down, which was of the circumcision. Peter was like thinking that they was going to be saying bad things about him because he was eating with the uncircumcised Gentile. Verse 13, and the other Jews dissembled likewise unto him, insomuch that Barnabas also was carried away with their dissimulation. But when I saw that they walked not uprightly according to the truth of the gospel, I said unto Peter before all, if you being a Jew live the Gentiles to live as do the Jews, meaning what? Peter, you conducting yourself how the Gentiles do, man. So how you gonna try to have them live like us when you acting like them? You see? So that's an example of Paul, who was under Peter, being able to come against Peter, withstanding Peter, and Peter had to what? Had to submit himself because Paul was right in this instance, and Peter was wrong. But he came from out the Bible about the gospel. You have not been walking uprightly according to the truth of the gospel. So if you got an elder that's doing something wrong against the gospel or doing something wrong against the Torah, now a subordinate can come in and try to correct that elder. But if you're not coming in correcting that elder, saying he's doing something wrong according to the laws of the Most High, not according to every little thing being spelled out, but truly going against the laws of the Most High and not repenting and not endorsing the commandments of righteousness anymore. Let's go into James chapter. Let's go into Hebrews chapter 13, verse 17. It says, obey them that have the rule over you and submit yourselves. Once again, I submit myself. You know what you can do too is maybe not never mind, to break off if you run into the strainer. I submit myself to my elder. That's why I can expect for other men to submit themselves to other elders. And you might be able to strain some of that out before it goes in there. just put it in there and kind of just let the stuff come out. I submit myself to my own elder. And a lot of you brothers, you playing church. You ain't submitting yourself to an elder. You want to just go to somebody to learn the Bible. But you don't realize that even when you did that, you had to still submit yourself unto that man. Okay? So obey them that have the rule over you and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls. Okay? So we watching out for the people's souls because we come and teaching the Bible and the laws and the commandments, and we saying if you break the commandments, man, you're going to the lake of fire. So let's review this Numbers chapter 16 real quick, and I'm gonna go ahead and shut down this this video. This is Numbers chapter 16, start from verse 1 again. We'll read this again, and I'm gonna close out so we can understand exactly where we coming from. Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram. Now these were the sons of Reuben. They said they took men, and they rose up before Moses. So these three men rose up before the leadership of the congregation. And we have men now that's raising up against the leadership of their congregation. They rose up before Moses, and with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. So instead of submitting themselves unto Moses and obeying him, they went and rallied 250 more leaders of the people to try to take authority away from Moses and try to have Moses share with them. Not doing their job. Moses shared the authority, but they wanted Moses to share more than what they had. They wanted to take authority away from. It's good to want to help. It's good to want to do something, but don't try to step on other brothers' toes to get into power, to get into leadership, to make a damn flyer. Don't do that. That's just trifling and tacky. And it's tasteless. And the good leaders don't do that. You see, good leaders don't do that. I never did that to my elder. I've had plenty of heated conversations with my elder in private, but you will never hear those conversations. You will never be privy to them conversations. You will never hear that exchange. We have never argued back and forth on Facebook. I've never made no post about him or nothing of the nature. I respect him and love him because I'm supposed to, first of all, as my brother. Second of all, as my leader, as my head, as my elder. And I say that unrepentantly, knowing that I'm justified and correct for saying it in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So whatever thoughts you thinking to the contrary, where does the scriptures justify you? We see this example set up throughout the whole Bible. So what happened is men want to go around what Moses went through, go around his trials and tribulations, like Korah did, like Dathan did, like Abiram did. They want to go around what made Moses the man he was, and they want to try to put themselves in Moses' position. And it don't work like that, young grasshoppers. It don't work like that. So it says they had 250 men, verse 3. Numbers 16 and 3. A little less pressure on that. Numbers 16 and 3. Look, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. And that's what's happening now. Brothers having meetings, secret meetings. And I know it's happening. Why? Because I recognize the spirit, because I read the law. I recognize the same demon. It's happening now. Certain brothers calling brothers up, having conversations, texting back and forth about problems and situations internally going on with the government structure, trying to do the same thing that Kohath, Dathan, and Abiram did. I guarantee you. Why? Because that's that same demon. Now it says, and they gathered themselves together against Mashah and against Aaron, and said unto them, ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them. You see? So they came and said, hey, You don't got to do all of that. We can do some of what you're doing also, Moses. But they didn't have the experience Moses had. They didn't have the dedication that Moses had. They didn't have the same testimony or the same story or the same perseverance that Moses had. Okay? He says, seeing well, then lift ye up yourselves among the congregation of the Lord. How y'all gonna put yourself up there? What men are saying. You wasn't there, bro. That's how we got up there. When the Most High was dealing with Aaron to set up that zone, when the Most High was dealing with Moses to set up the zone, Kohath wasn't there trying to set up no zone. Dathan or Dothan wasn't there to try to set up the zone. Abiram wasn't there. That's how. And also, Moses and them didn't lift themselves above the congregation. So that was a lie. Moses was humbled and walked with the congregation. You see? But now they accuse Moses of not being humble because Moses is strong in the Lord. Moses is strong in his work. Moses is strong in defending the Torah of the Most High. And certain brothers seen that as a threat because Satan entered into them and wanted them to take the people to a more wicked place. Any man listening right now that don't like me, you know this. As long as me and my elder, Zaquan Nathaniah Allah, are responsible for what's happening in the zone that we set up, you know that we will never tolerate any flagrant and consistent actions that are against the Torah. And they will be addressed. How we feel about everything comes about that Torah. And brothers, Satan knows that as long as he got men like that in positions of a leadership, he ain't gonna be able to do his job effectively in that particular zone. You see? Not in that particular zone. Okay, so now it says what? And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face. And he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow Yahweh will show who are his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him whom he has chosen will he cause to come near unto him. So when you continue reading the whole story, we gotta read the whole story for you. Okay? So that you see exactly what happened. All right. So in verse 6, this do, take you censers, Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before Yahweh tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom Yahweh does choose, ye shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. So Moses, all right, and take that incense. You don't want to bit off more than you can chew. You see? And that's the thing. We can't even go there because brothers don't have no works. They don't have no Korah. Korah was at least trying to do something, or he was off, but he was doing something to show that he was the one that could do the job. And you niggas running your mouth, you ain't doing nothing. You're not doing nothing. You see? So if you're not doing nothing, there's no thing to measure you against my elder or me because you have no works. So we can't even put you in no type of spiritual contest. Because you have no works. You got other men's work that you promote. You got other men's work that you try to promote yourself through and with. But you don't have no works, man. So you're not even on a level of a Korah. You are like an insignificant rebel that's trying to do a lot of damage through the demons that's working with you. And them demons getting rebuked in the name of Yahweh Bashem, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. You know? So the test now will be any man that says, hey, you ain't supposed to be over this zone, Zaquan Parazal, Zaquan Nathaniel. Okay, well, let's go into a room by ourselves with the Torah and with the Bible. No food, you know, no water, no cell phones, no light, no electricity, no electrical devices. And let's reason out the book for 3 days. And everybody make their calls for 3 days. If you want to challenge that authority that Yahushua saw fit to set up in the zone for over 20 years, put your life to the side for give the people 3 days to prove you a leader that the Most High wants to set up. And go into that room with your Bible for 3 days. No working, no job, no wife, no food, no drink, no water, no nothing for 3 days. And let's see who the Spirit is going to work through. If you ain't willing to do that, what are you willing to do? Make a big spectacle and a scene in front of everybody? Nah, let's do it spiritually. Let's take the Bible and let's go someplace and let's be recluse for 3 days with nothing else besides this Bible. And let's see what happens when everything is done. But you brothers ain't willing to do that. Why? Because you don't love the people enough to set your life to the side for 3 days with no water and no drink. You don't love the people enough to do that. But if you want to challenge something, what are you putting on the line? Your mouth? Your mouth is not a victorious, achievement over a structured order. Let's continue reading. Numbers chapter 16, verse 9. Seemeth it but a small thing unto you, that the Elohim of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord, Yahweh, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them. Meaning what? You think it's a small thing that the spirit of Yahushua set up your elders, and your elders saw fit to make you a Nagayat, a Shatar, a Regalia, a Shapat? It's a small thing to you. Now you want to try to take on more than what you was given. You want to try to now be seditious and rebel against the lawful authority that you are supposed to be under. And I've never done that. Okay. Now verse 10. And you have brought thee near to him, and he has brought thee near to him, and all the brethren of the sons of Levi with thee, and seek ye the priesthood also? Meaning what? These brothers already had a good job in Israel, but now they wanted to go a step above the job where they was at. See, they were the ones that brought the incense before the Most High, but they wasn't the priest. They were the ones that had to go and do the work of the Most High in the tabernacle. But now they said, well, we want to be the priest. We want to be the priest now. So since they wanted to be the priest, they was trying to what? Be covetous. They were being seditious. They were trying to usurp authority out of the family of Aaron. They were trying to be seditious against Moses, against Levi's priests. They were coveting. the position that other men had. Clear as day. That's the same spirit we have now. And you're not going to find too many instances of things happening in the Bible that ain't happening in real life now. Because it's the same spirits being recycled. There's nothing new under the sun. In the same way Moses was victorious in the past, it's the same way as me and Mazaquan are going to be victorious now. Why? Because we stand on the Torah. We stand on the Torah. All right? So now it says what? It says, and Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, we will not come. Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of a land that floweth with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us? So they said, wait, we supposed to be the ones in charge. You brought us from this good place, and now you putting yourself over us to be a prince? We ain't going to come up to you. They said, we ain't coming. We ain't going to do what you say to do. We're going to rebel against you. You see that? So read the rest of the story, the rest of the history for yourself. And you'll see exactly what happened. And this is the spirit that's upon us in Israel now. Men, talk about the Torah. If you're talking about unity, but if you ain't talking about obedience to the Torah, you talking loud but ain't saying nothing, bro. If you ain't talking about keeping that Torah in the name of Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, you ain't talking about nothing. The scripture says that's the end of everything. It's keeping them commandments. So don't let that spirit of rebellion come up against the children of Yasha'Allah in these modern times. Because it's going to destroy our people. And Satan wants to leave. Let me tell you something. A lot of these organizations that you see going around, that people are joining, they ain't keeping the commandments. They talking about the commandments and they saying to keep the commandments, but they're not teaching the commandments to keep them. I had a brother, in other words, check this out. You ain't supposed to go to IHOP and order no turkey sausage or no pancakes on the same plate that these people just got finished cooking some pig on, washing it. You know, that's basic. That's Leviticus chapter 11 right there. You ain't supposed to do that. So now what happened is that I had a conversation with a brother. Brother was from he was a brother that was a an officer with IUIC. And I saw pictures from IHOP, like, brother, you know you ain't supposed to be going to IHOP, man. Oh, we in captivity. This is their leadership. So the public face they put out there is not the face that a lot of times they keep them when it comes to these commandments. I'm talking about the commandments, not no personal issues or problems that we have with people. I'm talking strictly about the commandments of the Most High. That's it. If you can't get to that point, that's the milk. How are you going to try to chew on meat of unity, of the Gentiles, of Esau? See, a lot of brothers get a doctrine that they want to rally behind and try to bring the people together, but that ain't the doctrine that's going to bring the people together. The doctrine that's going to bring the people together is the Torah. But a lot of you niggas is wicked as hell, man. You don't want to keep the Torah. You don't want to obey the commandments, and you don't want to be in structure and in order. Hey, Shalom Lakam Mashaba. All right. Now you look at this brother's organization, man. Brother, part of a beautiful Israelite organization, man. Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge, man. Cross-contamination. Now, you got a brother, Mashaba, that you set up under you. And you making the flyers. All right. you and one of the other brothers, y'all making the flyers. Okay. So you and one of the other brothers making the flyers. Then you got a brother that's up under you telling you that he gonna start making the flyers, and that him and the council are gonna decide what's gonna be on the flyer and how they're gonna do it. And you saying, nah, brother, we've been making a flyer, so this is what it's gonna be. You see that? You gonna tell a brother, bro, you out of pocket, you out of order, you out of line. Okay. Now, Reyes, I'm gonna read your comment. And the submission and obedience in Timothy was speaking, written to Hebrew elders, to Hebrews in righteousness, not slave masters to captives, so quick to serve and submit to Pharaoh, but quick to backbite Moses, the anointed leader. Con. And a lot of these brothers that we dealing with are quick to backbite against leadership, but then they submit to the ordinances of man so quickly. Okay. All right. In Luke, as you said, as these younger men, zealous babes, unripe brothers, newly learned, a few years deep, or even a decade, don't rush up into a haughty spirit. Okay. If you have some self-established authority, rather if you have some self-established authority, rather be humble and be quiet. Take the load, meaning take a seat, and then be potentially called up higher in your rightful order, according to the order. Have dignity and integrity, but and through humility, until the Most High make manifest and call for you to be called up higher. And that's what I did up under my elder Nathaniel. I stood by this man and behind this man for years until he said, okay, now let's go ahead and set you up as living with him, being under him, taking his lead and reading for him for years. Shit, I ain't even get the mic when we went to the streets to read hardly. I was strictly reading. I wasn't teaching on that mic. I had to show myself worthy to him when we left from Xenia, Dayton, Ohio, and went to Columbus to start teaching the streets out there. I had to make myself worthy and humble myself and prove that I was committed to the leadership. It started with one man, and then me and him in that city. And from there, it's congregation. We still trying to hold these men together. But like you said, Mashaba, these brothers now that are trying to come up, all right, that I'm sorry, not Mashaba, I had to ask you that question. But like you said, you know, Reyes, these brothers trying to come up now don't have that experience. Now he said, I'm gonna finish reading what you said. The Most High ain't fixing to forget you and your labor, if it's in the spirit of righteousness. Hebrews 6:10. For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which he have shown toward his name, in that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. And that's the problem. A lot of brothers is not doing this work, man. They part-time. And then they come around every now and then as a wave that comes in trying to bark orders. And this is the thing, man. When we talking to these seasoned men, when we talking to elders over congregations, when we talk to men that came up in structure and in order, they know that these young brothers is out of order with how they trying to do things, man. So a lot of y'all brothers, man, be swayed and unstable when somebody start talking sedition against respected and set up authority. All right. Well, I mean, in other words, when y'all brothers first start coming around, any brother in Ohio, you know it was Aquana Thanyala and myself that was the main pillars in that zone. You know this for a fact. So now how you going to have brothers come in years later suddenly saying that they the pillars in the zone and that we got to submit to them, that we ain't going to do nothing, you know, except they authorize it or go through a council that they say so. That ain't the rules of the game. The rules of engagement is that the council is to bring forth a situation that the elders are going off and are doing wrong against the laws of the Most High, or doing tremendous miscarriages of justice. That's when the council come in at. Or if you have a council for a specific purpose. And if you have a council for a specific purpose, who do you have talking in the book of Acts? Still, chapter 15. It's still James that's giving what's going to be done, how we're going to do it. It's still Paul writing letters to Timothy and them and to Titus on what's going to be doing. It's still Peter writing letters. It's still the elders that's over these zones, no matter how many councils, how many departments or committees we have set up. It still don't negate the power of the elder righteously, according to the Torah, to set up structure and order and obedience in that zone. See, power is not given to men. People like to use the word power, you know, like it's a bad word. Power is not given to men to be wicked over other brothers. Power is given to men to set up structure and an order and to create an environment to where people can feel safe to worship the Most High, okay, as worship the Most High as He's commanded us to do, okay. All right, so take a little small intermission real quick. To sort some things out real quick. All right, so let's go into the book of Jeremiah, chapter 27, verse 5. Okay. This is Jeremiah chapter 27, verse 5. Speaking through the spirit of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. All right. It says, I have made the earth. So Most High said, I have made the earth, the man and beast that are upon the ground. Okay. By my great power and by my outstretched arm, and have given it unto whom it seemeth meet unto me. You see, the Most High is the one that gives the power to men in righteousness as He sees fit, or you give it to him in wickedness to do His dirty work out of order with the structure and decently and in order. You see, so the zone that was established have to be established in order. And if it's not established in order, if you're trying to usurp authority, the gate of hell shall not prevail against it. Okay? So it's the Most High. All right? It's the Most High that says, you're going to do this or you're going to do this. You're going to be in this rulership, okay? You're going to be doing this thing right here, okay? Let's go into Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 3. Hope maybe this be the last one I go into, okay? Hear therefore ye, O ye kings, and understand, learn ye that be judges, hear ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations. For power is given you from Yahweh, and search out your counsels, because being ministers of his that be in high places. So you're trying to put yourself in a high place. Now, the structured and established leadership. And the Most High is going to see to it that any of these brothers out here that's trying to leave from these camps, because they got a problem with the over here, all right? You might get some followers in this life because broad is the way to destruction. But it ain't going to be of the Most High. And you're going to be deceiving yourself because you're going to mistake numbers for being correct. You see? All right, so I think that is going to be it. You know what I'm saying, for right now. We went into a lot today. I hope everything is helpful for you and whatever you're going through. You know, we got some personal issues that's going on. We got some issues in all of Israel that's going on. But the key thing is to make sure you have brothers surrounding you that keep the commandments of the Most High and keep that brother always with you. Okay? And now when you keep that brother with, it says be continually with a man that you know keep the commandments of the Most High. All right. Hey, Matiyahu, don't even trip, man. Don't even trip. Don't even trip, Jaquan. Matiyahu, don't even trip, man. I mean, hey, we're gonna talk. When it's over, I'm gonna call you, man, and we're gonna move together, you know, at the speed that we can to get stuff kind of going. I want to get with the brother named Debini. Okay, I want to get with the brother Debini, man. You get him up with doing the education for the Hebrew, at least putting a packet together so we can have somebody here learn it and do a lot of self study, and then that person that does the self study can teach the men, the women, and children, different levels of the Hebrew. So I really want to get with the Benny, right? Elder Zaquan Debini, who have said that he would work with us as Banya Yasha'Allah to help with the Hebrew. See, there's more things than what we got going on than brothers just making those and was just trying to sit in a chair and teach. There's an actual structure, a community arrangement that got to be put together so that we can operate in our daily lives together as a community, as a nation. You know what I'm saying? So, whether we in Belize or whether we in Barbados or whether we in Bermuda or whether we in Benin or whether we in Barbuda, right? Or whether we in Bermuda or Bahamas, okay? Or whether we in Bali, or whether we in Bahrain, or whether we in Basra, you see what I'm saying? Or whether we in Bayat. So no matter where we are, we still have like a structure that we gotta. Déjala la puerta abierta un poco. Déjala un poco más. There's still a structure that we have to go by, and you, Matiyahu, and Elder Zaquan Debini, are brothers that I really want to work with a lot closer. With Banya Yasha'Allah to cover business aspects of things that we need to take care of, and some oversight in that area, and then for education, that we need to take care of in that era. You know, in my opinion, there's no need for forgiveness, but forgiveness is granted. Forgiveness is given for your absence. I love you as a brother. I wasn't really thinking about you in my brain at all, and what was being discussed. I'm just thinking about a situation with other brothers that I'm aware of that's going on in Florida. A situation that I'm aware of that's going on in Ohio, and situations that I'm going on as situations I'm aware of that are going on right close to us in California, over in in just different places in California, man. We in Mexico, everything is good down here. We don't have no major situations or problems at this point yet, but we do have a lot of house cleaning we have to do, and we would like for all brothers that's on that original council of Banya Yasha'Allah to move forward, at your pace, but just with, consistency. If it's going to be one month, that you can give yourself a day to set things up, and then a day to make the contacts you need to make. 2 months, 2 days out the month. That's terrific. That'd be appreciated. A little of something is better than all of nothing. You see what I'm saying? So, but let's be consistent with how we're doing things, together, and let's begin to get back on the ball. All right. So once again, thank you. Great scriptures, Aki. I needed to hear this. Man, I'm surprised that I was surprised you still around, man. I thought that that there's gonna be a little bit of brothers might step off for a little while because this was too long. But Reyes, Isaiah 16, Isaiah 10:15. Other brothers were gonna be gone by now. It says that Isaiah 10:15, shall the axe boast against itself? Shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith? Or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it? As if the staff should lift up itself as if it were no wood. We are all tools. The one who hold it has the power, order. The Most High first, the begotten of the Father, elders, disciples, etc. In order that the work can get done decently, properly, and efficiently with less foolishness. Okay, so these are things that the brother, is speaking. That's true. And we're gonna have to get you yourself on active duty, or active duty. So yeah, oh, by the way, I'm just chilling out, trying to get spiritually fed. Hallelujah, all praise to the Most High. You chilling out from any place you want to chill out in the whole connected pieces of land that we got, man. I would like to be in that position right now. Hopefully, the Most High allow us to be in that position to where we can get like a bus or RV, but we can start to travel from Mexico throughout Central America and South America, and from South America, catch the plane across the ocean and go to different places and just keep country hopping with the family, being in a place, inside with that bus or with that mobile home, and the other brothers in that mobile Hebrew village working in the place where we parked at. So that's something we really want to do. We really want to look forward to. Matter of fact, what we need to do is start having leadership council conference call. I would say at bare minimum, once a month, bare minimum. Maybe from there moving up to Said, yeah, Khan, you whip the country hopper. How long? Yeah, Khan. Especially when we got, vehicles. Vehicles is a little easier because we can carry more people for less than what it costs to fly. But if it's just one person, it might be a little more efficient to actually fly. You know, driving from Mexico all the way down to Argentina when you cross the Darien Gap, getting across that water into Colombia, and then drive on down through the countries, and bang, there it is. Okay, so once again, um, maybe that's something we can set up. Okay, I'll try to have the guitar, try to get that myself, and you talking about something that's yet to be discovered. Okay, hey, get them crew cab, man, and pull us a fifth wheel. you know, let us pull pull the fifth wheel. So start having the elders and the council start to meet and talk together, a little more regularly, logistics, on how to do that. Some of y'all, good brothers. Some of y'all act a-holes sometimes, but it don't mean I don't love you. You got to be able to take correction and take scolding like a man, bounce back, and keep going forward. The most I say, chastise those whom he loves. So if you're checking the brother out of love, you acting in the spirit of Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai. And the brother should be able to receive that correction and not get in his emotions or get feelings about it. And once again, let's talk a little more, get things going. And once again, I'm gonna call a lot of you brothers that's on here for your direction, for your opinion, for your guidance, and for your counsel, because I value you. I value your input. Once again, we have to get rid of that Numbers chapter 16 spirit, the spirit of rebellion against established leadership amongst our people. If I go to a village in West Africa, I can't go tell that village, hey, if that village man, if he makes me, like if the chief makes me a village leader, I can't go to that chief when the chief is gone and say, I think that the village should be run like this. Nah, this is the village, man. We got the same structure everywhere we go, and you can't be trying to change it outside of how the Bible got it set up, man. So the Most High know what he's doing. The Most High know what he's doing. And when you try to step outside that, man, then the Most High gonna check it. And they're gonna check it through men if you check it through the spirit, one or the other. Come, all praise to the Most High. The water for your diligence and perseverance. We value you as well. Hallelujah. I appreciate that, Reyes, man. I appreciate that. All praise to the Most High. And I really appreciate that, especially coming from a seasoned brother like you. Word up. So once again, and I think what happens is that brothers mistake. A lot of you young brothers out there, man, you take our calmness and the way we speak and do things, you take it for us being bitches, man. We're not bitches. A lot of us come from a background and experiences that you're only gonna see in movies. That you're only gonna see in movies, man. So be grateful that the Most High have put a spirit on us to operate decently and in order. Because if we operated like a lot of you brothers that's young coming up in this truth, man, your feelings would get hurt. You would get hurt because you be bringing out the old man, and the old man never got nothing done righteously. The new man in Yahushua, a new creature, is who we want to deal with. But you not being fair. You using your old man to face our new man. And if your new man face our new man, we would all be one in Christ. But the fact that you coming at us with an old man spirit, not with a new man spirit, show that you're not dealing with the spirit of Christ, man. So that's where the division comes in at. And the house divided itself shall not stand. So what you got to do, you got to repair the house, and you got to get the breaches fixed, and you got to move the damage out the way. Whatever's causing damage got to get moved out the way. I hate to end the broadcast, man. But we got a lot of things that we need to take care of down here in Mexico. I might be able to actually call over to the Eastern Hemisphere today to get some things taken care of over there, further than Africa I'm talking about. All right, so once again, I love you all, man. I value, all you brothers, man. Like Negan said on Walking Dead, every person is a resource. So I value you brothers, man, as resources in this work, resources to bring our people back to Yahweh, and as a resource, a spiritual resource to serve our power, Yahweh, Bashem HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. So, Yabalaka come Yahweh Bashem HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. Yahweh bless you of his son, Yahweh Shai. Hallelujah. All right. Double honors to the elders that's doing this work in diligence. All right. In truth. All right. And in righteousness. Keep doing this work. And there's a lot that we have to do besides going these street corners, man. We got to organize materials, organize education, organize garments, organize transportation, organize brothers having everything they need to lead a life in compliance with the Torah of the Most High. All right. So thanking you, brothers, for the instruction, and thanking you for the ability to sit before you today. I tell you shalom in the name of Yahweh, Bashem HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. The blacks, Hispanics, and Indians in North, Central, South America, and the Caribbean, and scattered throughout the world through slavery and captivity, are the 12 tribes of Israel that the Bible talks about. God is black, Christ is black, and we must obey the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Holy Bible found inside the part of the Bible called the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible. If we obey the Torah and we keep the commandments, we shall inherit eternal life if we repent in the name of Yahweh Shai, HaMashiach, and we believe on him. So shalom to come. Hallelujah.